Hello, my name is James Bell from OperationsCommander, and we're here for an OperationsCommander webinar. If you are watching this on April 11th, then you will be able to participate and ask questions in the chat window. Phil McCallum will be monitoring the chat and will answer any questions you have. In order to chat, you will need to log into YouTube with your Google YouTube account. If you do not have an account, then you can send us questions via email. If this is after the live event, then you will be watching a recording. And if you are watching the recording and do have any questions, please feel free to contact us from our webpage or email us directly. The links will be in the description below. Welcome to today's presentation on the topic of the business of license plate recognition, or as some call it, LPR. Today will be an overview of the LPR technology and how it can significantly improve efficiency and revenue generation. We will also touch on what kind of investment you can expect and where you will see the biggest returns. LPR is not new. In Canada, Highway 407 was the first toll highway in the world to use LPR technology. And since then, parking lot vendors have looked on with anticipation for the cost to come down and the accuracy to go up. In today's market, LPR technology is much more accurate thanks to the improved software technology and better hardware with regards to image capturing for both clarity and contrast. In some instances where plate reading is difficult, it is not often the fault of technology. What usually contributes to a difficult reading is a missing or bent license plate, dirty or snow-covered plates, etc. But those occurrences are few and can be easily dealt with. Each camera in the system is connected to the network with a unique IP address. Our cameras have a built-in processor which provides the data analysis for the LPR parking solution. The camera is primarily focused on the license plate to capture the data. An OCR algorithm is used to convert the plate into a text that can be understood by the parking management software. The mobile setup is a wireless setup, except for the power connection to the camera and to the plate reader connection. In the case of the patrol vehicle with a camera on each side, the cameras will send the data to the plate reader, and that data is then wirelessly pushed to the awaiting tablet for processing. The plate reader is a device that sits in the trunk of the enforcement vehicle and proxies the connections between the camera and the tablet and then processes the data collected. When a camera says, "I saw vehicle ABC," the tablet receives the message plus the context images along with other data. The tablet automatically looks up the plate in its database and displays an appropriate message. The patrol officer can then issue a violation or keep on trucking. It's able to do that because the tablet contains a copy of the data from the OPSCOM server which matches vehicles to permits. The plate reader can come with a 4G access which allows it to offer a mobile hotspot for the tablet. This handy feature allows changes in the database to be seen easily since permits, vehicles, and violations can change throughout the day with regular updates and payments. Most of our clients have 3G, 4G enabled tablets, but this setup means you could use any Android with a Wi-Fi for enforcement and reduce the cost associated with tablets. Understanding the investment. An LPR solution is about streamlining the process, and it is about the enforcement fair and equitable for all parkers in your environment. When it is properly set up and linked to the parking database, there is no faster and more efficient assessment of legal and illegal parkers. The LPR solution will return a positive return on investment based on its abilities to save time, speed up the process of identifying violations. It is a customer service solution that encourages compliance with your parking regulations. Whether you're using a system for a garage, lot, or to mount on a vehicle, you will require 2 or more cameras. On the mobile installation, one camera scans the right side of the vehicle and the second the left. With a stationary installed, there is a camera monitoring the entrance to the lot and one on the exit. The camera hardware starts as low as $7,000 plus installation. The total investment for a garage with a single lane and single lane exit requires 2 fixed LPR cameras at a cost of approximately $7,000 plus installation. Installation will require power and network cables to be pulled to the location. This cost may be included in your purchase or may require a third party to supply the service at your expense. The initial investment for the setup of a mobile LPR starts at approximately $16,000. Breaking that down, 2 mobile cameras with magnet mount plates, $13,000, the plate reader, $1,000, the ruggedized tablet and printer, approximately $1,700, equaling a $16,000 value. Our mobile cameras are easily mounted with magnet mounts and can be quickly removed if you wish to repurpose the vehicle for something else when not enforcing parking. Our mobile cameras can be installed on most vehicles, so a new vehicle is not required should you already have one for enforcement. Most LPR installations come with a one-time installation fee to cover camera mounting, proper lens placement, wiring, and power to the camera hardware. We recommend using your on-site operations staff to do the preliminary wiring or bring in a third-party contractor such as a ComNet or Stanley Securities to provide the physical installation process. Our installation fees include camera configuration to pull data to the OperationsCommander solution depending on the nature of your setup. Licensing costs. There's a wide variation of licensing costs for the different systems that are currently available. For example, many parking departments have an LPR set up from one supplier that feeds information into a parking management system from another supplier. This can create some complications with communications between the programs and also result in support requests across multiple vendors. This also leads to multiple annual licensing fees for each system. Most existing LPR operations on the market now have a network of these integrations to analyze the available data. The various combinations of systems can vary significantly, and with as few as 10 active cameras, easily surpass $15,000 in annual licensing fees. Our OperationsCommander LPR system is unique. Our cameras with built-in LPR take the camera data and cross-reference it with our OperationsCommander permit and violations data, offering complete integration and analysis within a single system. This reduces the multiple licensing fees, which helps with your budget requirements. You receive support from one vendor who supports one system for any software issues, instead of dealing with multiple vendors, wasting time trying to figure out where and who the issue belongs to before the troubleshooting can begin. The OperationsCommander system is scalable, and as your requirements grow, we grow with you. Adding a new lot to your parking inventory and cameras for the lot, you can expect annual licensing fees to increase at a rate of about $1,000 per camera as you expand your solution. Much like any new software and hardware installations, you will require some in-house IT and facilities support to install any LPR component on the market. While many offer support for their systems like we do, it's always a good idea to have someone in-house who really understands the business logic, the technology, and the system as a whole. We also encourage all of our clients, regardless of the system they have in place, to put emphasis on employee training, not only for the LPR functionality, but for cybersecurity to protect their data from mistakes that could make them vulnerable. We offer training sessions that can be utilized when you bring a new system into your operation or for new employees who join your team. Let's look at the overall investment. Initial investment for a garage or lot environment will require 2 cameras, camera licensing, LPR software, parking violations database, for a minimum cost of approximately $18,000. Keep in mind, fixed cameras are not easily mounted and may require additional investment for the hardwire infrastructure. Initial investment for a mobile setup will require 2 cameras, the plate reader, tablet, and citation printer, camera licensing and LPR software, parking and violations database, for a minimum cost of approximately $27,000. Mobile cameras are easily mounted with magnet mount and can be removed if you wish to repurpose the vehicle. The $75,000 evaluation is a quick rough price of a mobile solution and 8 fixed cameras. So that'd be 4 lots with single entry and exits to establish a full virtual permit environment on a medium-sized college or university. The high cost of replacing an outdated park system can easily be weighed against the initial investment for an LPR solution. The ongoing maintenance and support cost of a park solution could have your initial LPR investment equalized in the first year, depending on those costs. Gate arms are a good security mechanism, but they are not customer friendly and do not contribute to free-flowing traffic solution. They can require maintenance that is not expected due to all the moving parts. This is not typical with an LPR camera, that can go on for years without an issue. Pay and display units require manual patrolling, where a pay-by-plate system integrated into the LPR system allows the mobile patrol to treat the temporary parker the same as any long-term permanent parker. Traffic flow smooths out when there are no gates, allowing the cameras to identify the plate. This is much quicker than the process of going up to the gate and scanning an access card. An LPR solution will notify you of illegal parkers while allowing your legitimate parkers to move freely without delay. It will reduce the tailgaters as well, since the vehicle does not need to stop and wait for a gate to open. The return on investment with an LPR solution is varied and plentiful. The most obvious ROI will come from a mobile LPR solution. If you have a closed parking environment, such as a college or university, in this environment, the majority of your parkers have existing permits. By instituting a mobile LPR solution, you will be able to easily and quickly identify the illegal parkers. You will be evaluating as many as 1,000 vehicles per hour. The biggest returns come from the improved efficiency in the enforcement. There will be greater opportunities to generate revenue from both permits and violations based on the improved enforcement. Fixed LPR cameras will allow you to create a virtual permit environment where every vehicle is quickly assessed based on its existing based on an existing database tagged to be legal or not. This process will then notify your enforcement personnel of the approximate location of an illegal parker based on a zone system. This can directly benefit the institution by dedicating enforcement time based on notifications. There will no longer be a need to have a patrol officers wandering the lots on a schedule, as they like to wander. Your LPR system can issue notifications directly to your enforcement personnel by email or other triggers when illegal parkers have been identified. This environment can eliminate the need for gates and their regular maintenance costs, while allowing for a more customer-friendly parking environment that is free-flowing. Additional investment benefits may include some of the following. Permit sales are likely to increase significantly by eliminating the illegal parkers and bringing a greater majority of the vehicles on your property under compliance. Violation issuance will increase based on a fair and equitable evaluation of every vehicle on the property, which result in increased payments for non-compliance. Customer satisfaction increases due to better parking management and greater improved traffic flow for your registered clients. These increases are a direct result of education to the user. Signage, letting them know that LPR and video surveillance is in use, and email campaigns to your users will have a direct result in increased compliance. The knowledge that the cameras never sleep and patrol 24/7 ensures users will think twice about taking a chance in the hopes that they will slip under the radar and a manual patrol will miss them. Sharing of parking hang tags and fraudulent hang tags and decals will cease to be a concern. Gates have moving parts and reoccurring maintenance fees, as well as creating stop-and-go traffic. Patrols can now be done on an as-needed basis. The initial assessment of vehicles is performed by LPR cameras. Patrol officers will be directed to illegal parkers instead of having to hunt for them. An LPR camera can patrol more than 1,000 parking spaces per hour. LPR technology replaces most of the manual processes with an automatic system of data collection and notifications. Permit applications are done online, eliminating the need for lineups and the manual processes of the past. With a license plate being a virtual permit and unique identifier, it eliminates the need for printing and mailing of hang tags or permit decals. All staff have access to the most current parking and violation data in real time, which means fewer mistakes. An LPR system creates documentation and adds photos of violations. This makes tickets less challengeable and requiring fewer resources to manage and fewer appeals. The cameras will do a much better job of reading license plates than the average patrol officer on foot, who needs to identify parking decals and hang tags from 6 feet away. There are circumstances where a camera cannot accurately detect a plate because of restricted or compromised view. It may be because the plate cover has become discolored, a plate cover that encroaches too much on one of the plate characters is old and worn out, or that a plate needs replacing. Most of these issues are in fact illegal in and of themselves, making them an infraction that can be fined. The good news is this is less of an issue with technology, the more of an issue with circumstance. And the occasions of unreadable license plates will likely represent a small percentage of the vehicles for most operations. That being said, it is in fact illegal for anything to obstruct a government-issued license plate. To help reduce the inaccurate plate detection, OPSCOM plate reader technology was developed to allow inaccurate reads to be manually corrected. The manual corrections will then be learned by the system, and they will automatically be corrected the next time the system detects that same hard-to-read plate. This is an optimal teaching tool that, if used properly, will make any closed or private parking environment much easier to assess with an ever-growing database of accurate license plates. Talk about its time savings there. Approximate violations will increase by 40%, and the approximate permitting will increase by 20%. LPR technology simplifies the process of identifying physical permits or decals and equips your team with the information they need to issue violations. Fixed cameras give administrators the reporting that they need that will automatically notify personnel of fraudulent permits immediately. Vehicles mounted with cameras cover significantly more spaces per hour, expanding the total patrol area each day. The use of LPR systems often creates more stringent parking compliance. Drivers quickly come to realize that they are more likely to be ticketed for invalid parking or past their time limit, and choose to follow the rules, thereby supporting a complete, fair, and equitable solution where all parkers have the same access to parking at your institution. LPR is a customer service solution. It makes users happier as well as your staff. The removal of gates translates into better traffic flow in and out of parking zones and eliminates bottlenecks at the entrance. Barricades are no longer in place to maneuver around. Most users also appreciate the easier online permit application process as well as the pay-by-plate metering for non-permit spaces. Overall, it creates a simpler and more flexible way for drivers to pay for parking. Plus, for many operations, the access to data about how drivers are using their parking space will most often lead to improvements in parking operations. Your enforcement staff will also benefit from these improvements by having a greater number of parkers with permits, by simplifying the violations process, and by their ability to easily identify and track down known scofflaw offenders when they're on premise. What is the best LPR solution for your organization? You may have a large contained lot. In this environment, LPR cameras at the entrance and exit become the unmanned gate monitoring traffic flow. This will result in minimized patrols, and the system will notify you as to when to go out and look for violators. If you have many small lots, then a mobile LPR solution would be the most cost-effective initially. The mobile LPR will be able to patrol all the lots much faster than a patrol without LPR. Considering that mobile LPR can scan 1,000 plates an hour, where manual checking of each vehicle can take significantly longer. Combining mobile LPR with station LPR on a large lot makes finding the violator much quicker, as the mobile scans are so much faster. This making the best use of your resources and the most cost-effective. An option with a complete use of LPR. Stationary cameras on each lot monitoring all incoming and outgoing traffic flow. LPR cameras quickly assess the virtual permit plate number. Notifications of non-compliance are sent out to patrol personnel, and they will start their patrol knowing that there is an illegal parker. This is no longer a patrol that might result in finding one, but a patrol that will find one. Adding a mobile LPR makes finding the violator significantly faster depending on the size of the lot. Sending a patrol person out to look for a plate ABC without LPR will be a time-consuming task, but taking advantage of mobile setup that scans 1,000 plates per hour will quickly result in a citation being delivered to the vehicle. So at this point, we're at the end of our webinar, and if you have any questions, please put them into the chat window, or if you're watching this after the webinar has ended, please send them to us in an email or contact us through our web channels as well. Thank you very much, and we'll be here for your questions, and have a great day. Well, I hope you enjoyed the webinar, and if you do have any questions, do please feel free to send them in to us. I'm just going to check with Phil and find out if anybody's asked any questions that I can answer right now, and hopefully we'll be able to get you some more information if you're requiring it. Oh, I have a question here. This one came in from Robert. Okay, just a second. Robert wants to know whether or not the LPR interfaces with pay and display machines. Well, the pay and display machines, what happens with them is they don't really have any data to transmit. Now, if you do have a pay by plate machine, in that case, it interfaces with the LPR system so that if somebody pays by uses a pay by plate machine, excuse me, then their license plate is into the system and the LPR camera does capture it. And I might add, the same goes for if you were using a text-to-park type of solution. So where you're using a phone app and entering a license plate into that. We can integrate many different phone apps. We have our own built-in. So that also, the LPR technology will capture that as well. So let me just check to see if there's any other questions coming my way. Don't have another one yet. Well, once again, as I say, if you have any questions, do feel free to contact us. You can go and look at our website at ops-com.com or info@ops-com.com for email questions. And if you don't even want to type out an email, don't worry about it. Just give us a phone call, 855-410-4141. It is toll free. And hey, if you want to talk to us right now, we'll be more than happy to take a call and answer any other questions that you might have. So I really want to thank everybody for participating in the webinar today, and we're looking forward to a really banner year with the LPR. And once again, have a great day, and thank you very much for participating.